I always say to my students when they've written down a goal, now read it back. And if it gives you goosebumps and all the hairs on your arms start to stand up, it's right. If you read it and go, it's not right. It's not the right goal for you. It's not compelling enough.
So it's the goosebumps factor.
It's a goosebump factor, yeah. It should make you go, oh, yes, that's exactly what I want.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good day. This is Conor. My good friend and business partner, Kallum, is taking the day off. So today it is the Unplugged podcast number 61 with world-renowned and good friend Christine Dawson, streaming all the way in from the UK. It's late at night. Welcome to the podcast, Christine.
Thank you so much.
Great to have you here.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world.
What time is it in the UK now?
It's just on 10 p.m.
Oh, well, we really appreciate you being here today and sharing some of your wisdom with our audience. But before we do, I'll share with the world a little bit more about you. I've got a little blurb here that I found. Christine is the managing director, owner, and creative force behind Quest for Success Limited in the UK. Christine holds a firm belief that everyone has the potential to become the person they want to be and to live the life that they want. Everyone, I love this. Everyone is fundamentally magnificent as one of only a handful of only a handful of ABNLP certified master trainers in the UK. Joy's just joined us. You know, remember Joy from the US? Joy Willett. But yeah, Joy's online. Hey Joy, how are you? She's one of the most accomplished trainers in the profession. Absolutely. I will attest to that. And Christine trains across Europe and the UK on a regular basis. You created Quest for Success after 17. It's been about 20 years now you've had Quest for Success, but after 17 years in the corporate world, your skills in the corporate world range from IT, environmental science, personal development, coaching, business consulting, and innovation. Actually, I'll be curious to know what you were innovating with a variety of complex business environments. You also see your own clients one-on-one. And I love this. On a personal level, you're a horsewoman, having ridden and owned horses since you were a child. That's very UK, very British. You're also a qualified PADI open water diver. You enjoy dancing. Regularly attending tap, ballet, jazz, contemporary, and my favorite, Zumba classes. Christine's other passions are motorsports, travel, food, and wine, and not necessarily in that order. Have I frozen or am I still here?
On my screen, you've frozen.
Look at that. I was rambling and I had frozen, so hopefully I'm back in the street now. All right, here I am. Sorry about that. So welcome, man. There is so much that we can unpack here with you, and I've personally known you for a good 15, maybe even longer, 15 years or 17 years, and I know how much you give to your craft and this industry, and how much of a focus on quality you have with everything that you do. So before we, I guess, talk about, and by the way, that leads into your extremely high level of quality when it comes to performance and speaking. So we'll unpack that soon as well. Yes, we've frozen, but I'm back online now. Yes, okay. Christine, tell us all about where do you come from? So you're obviously British. Where do you come from?
So born and bred in Oldham, which is north of Manchester. So right on the foot of the Pennine Hills. So within 10 minutes drive, I'm up in Moreland, and it's very wild up there. And
where is Moreland? It's like me telling you places in Australia. So I know Manchester.
Hills, many hills, and dry stone walls, and beautiful landscapes and reservoirs, and right on the doorstep. So it is.
Oh, that actually sounds beautiful.
Yeah. And it's very English countryside-ish.
As in, like Mandy and I love watching antique roadshows. Is it like a place where the antique roadshow experience happens?
Well, they tend to go to big country houses, don't they, for the afternoon?
Yeah, I love it. It's like there's
Don't live. I'm not Lady of the Manor.
Hi there, this is Conor and Kallum from Connekt Coaching. Hope you are enjoying the Unplugged podcast. Nothing lights us up more than seeing businesses thrive, especially in uncertain times. We have 32 combined years of doing nothing but mentoring and training businesses from around the globe in order to increase their revenue and thrive in uncertain times. So what we would like to do is share with you a little bit about what we've discovered over the last 32 years.
We've created this amazing business model called the Forever Business Model, and we want to give it to you for free. All you need to do is jump down into the description below. There's a link there called Steal Our Forever Business Model. Click on the link. There's a 9-minute video that you can watch where we unpack everything you need to know to implement it in your business right away.
There's always someone who's like, I don't know what it is. We've had it in our house for the last 30 years, and I think it was passed down from a grandmother. And then the person's like, well, this is a 15th century Victorian cup and saucer set, and it's valued at £15,000. And everyone's like, you can see the gasp. It's hilarious. Anyway, back to you. So is that where you are now? You're north of Manchester, yeah. in a beautiful heartbeat, in the heartbeat of the UK.
Yeah.
And is that where you've been always? So even so you went to school, you finished, you got stuck into the corporate world, and you must have done something right because you were there for 17 years. So can you share a little bit about that journey?
So, well, I did cross the Pennines at one time into Yorkshire because I went to uni in Leeds, which is in the other side of the Pennine. Okay. So it's quite a thing here because you have the white rose of Yorkshire and the red rose of Lancashire. I mean, we're going back to medieval times here, and never the twain shall meet, So if you go to the Pennines to the other side, it's a bit like you've defected, and you need your passport to get back.
Right. So the English rose, so the rose on like the rugby team, for example, it's a red rose.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went over, you crossed the border for a period of time.
Came back. So I'm a scientist by degree. And
so cool.
That led me to work with, it was called the National Rivers Authority at the time. So I was into environmental sciences, and I joined the National Rivers Authority, and I worked in a science-based role for many years in flood defense. So working in flood defenses for rivers that regularly burst their banks. And then
so you were the person that says, we need 100 tons of sandbags there.
Get the men out, please. We need the sandbags.
Yeah.
And, it wasn't that technical back then because
I bet.
I remember being called out to a flood event on the River Mersey. You've heard of the Mersey, right?
I've never heard the Mersey.
You know the Mersey? So we were called out, and I was on the flood gate, and we had to decide when we were going to open the flood gate or not, because it would flood a golf course. Effectively, that was the floodplain. And the guy who I was with, the engineer, he said, so we're going to open it. We're going to open this floodgate. And he said, well, see that stick on the other side of the bank? When, yeah. He says, if it gets there, we'll open it. But that's how technical.
That's how it was. Now they have drones. They have computers that tell you when you should do anything and press a button. But then I was like, we'll just sit down and have a cup of tea. And if it gets up to here, we'll just open the gates. Is that how it was? That's very funny. There's something nostalgic and quirky about that. I really like that.
It's a lovely memory.
Is it Mersey River? Mercy?
Mersey. Mersey. Like ferry across the Mersey.
Ah, there we go. Joy was asking. And it sounds like Alice in Wonderland where you are.
Down a rabbit hole.
Down the rabbit hole, indeed. So you went to university. You were a scientist. And according to your website, you've done a lot of other things. So you moved from science to IT, or you moved from science to personal development?
Yeah. So as you normally do, as you move up the career path, you move out of the field and more into managerial positions. And that's exactly what happened to me. And I ended up working as the bridge, if you like, between the IT department and the rest of the business. So
Okay.
I was
All right.
the communication link between
You were the bridge. So you did
those
engineering.
two
Yeah,
banks
yeah.
who never talk the same language. The IT guys
Oh, so
just
you were the
could not
interpreter.
communicate and that way. So I was the project manager in the middle that brought
Yeah.
everything together.
Awesome.
And it was
Now, I'll
brilliant.
just mention it here. I hope now Christine's really dialing in on presenting and speaking and working towards something very special, I believe, in 2026. So if we're lucky, everyone who's here, I'll ask Christine for some presenting and speaker tips that you can apply to your career immediately. But I'm planting the seed now. I'll ask Christine if we have time that she shares some of those later on in the podcast. So back to you, Christine.
So there I was, project
were.
and program management, multi-million pound budgets to manage, all about technology. And then something started to happen in the world, and people started to talk about the fact that we could actually take our computers and shrink them down into something much smaller.
Yeah.
And so I was put on a team that were project managing. I don't know if you remember them. The first one was called a Jornada, and it was like a little weenie laptop.
Jornada.
A Jornada about that big. And this was even before the BlackBerry came out. So there was these
So
little
BlackBerry
things.
came out in the late 90s, I think, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the laptops were so was so laptops had come out, but they were making them even smaller, were they?
Well, it wasn't. It was a handheld device, and it looked like a little tiny laptop.
And did you flip it open?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this thing called an iPad, which was probably the forerunner to the smartphone. So that had a screen and a pen that you used it with.
Almost like a Kindle looking thing, was it?
Smaller.
Okay.
Anyway, our project was to get the business starting to work on these handheld devices, particularly people who were out in the field. And so they could use their little computer out in the field.
Can I ask you a question? Were you talking about where things could be in 30 years from that time or 20 years from that time? Was there a buzz about it during that early revolution in IT where, the ideas are flowing, but the technology hadn't yet caught up to those ideas? Did you know that you were onto something special?
Yeah. I mean, there was great anticipation.
Yeah.
And one of the main things, something really simple, was the guys who worked for the fisheries department, that they could check if people had a fishing license on this little device. So they had it at their fingertips.
Yeah.
And then that was wow, can I really do that? And so what we did is we created a roadshow, and the company I worked for, it was a non-profit making government body. We had 14 different offices in every region in England and Wales. So we spent months traveling around all these offices with a roadshow. And what we did is we created a performance. So it was like a little play.
A sales pitch?
No, it was a play. And we were characters, and we were playing out how we would use our new mobile devices. And we did a performance, like a little play.
Fantastic.
And nobody had seen anything like this. And everyone just went, wow, that's amazing. And then after the little performance, they got to play with the handheld devices, and everybody was really excited about it. So that's where the innovation comes in.
Yeah, what anticipation. I can imagine they're sitting there and all they want to do is play with a new toy, and you're going through the song and dance and the performance. And then when you give it to them, the feeling of, like, I don't know, overwhelmingly happiness when they finally get to play with it. So since the early days, you've been building up performances and anticipation with the people that you're working with. Nice.
Yeah. And it was that kind of began to make me pivot in my career path. We had such fun doing that. We had such fun performing and teaching people and allowing people some creativity and allowing them to think outside of what was happening right now. And there was so much buzz around it that I
Someone said very Shakespearean.
You know, this is nice. I like this. I don't want to go back to looking at numbers on spreadsheets and facilitating arguments between two sides of a business. And that's what started me. Where am I going next?
How did you decide where to start looking?
So it was decided for me, actually.
Yeah.
The business then decided that coaching was
right. Okay,
and
cool.
so they decided we need coaching in the organization. And bearing in mind that this organization was about 14,000 employees strong nationally. So they sent two of us on a coaching course.
As in to get trained so you can bring it back to the organization?
Yeah. So I did a formal coaching certification, EMCC accredited with the CIPD in the UK. And it took 12 months to get that certification. And then we came back and we set up a team whereby we were starting to look at developing coaching cultures within the organization, in different teams, in different pockets in the organization. And it was when I was on that coaching course that I looked at the trainers who were teaching me and I thought, I quite like that job. I quite like what they're doing. And
I can do that.
Yeah, I looked into their backgrounds a bit, and everybody's CV that I looked at, everybody's biography, had this thing on it called NLP. And at that time, I didn't have a clue what NLP was.
Yes. Okay.
So I started to ask questions because they all had it. And I'm thinking, well, they've all had it. So
if they've got it, I need to get it.
I must need it. And so I started
the ultimate FOMO.
Questions.
Yeah.
I started asking questions. Where did you do yours? What's it like? And they started telling me things like, well, I did the whole week in trance. And I'm like, wow, really? That's amazing. All the learning was unconscious. And I'm like, hold up a minute.
What is this? Which is illegal NLP you're talking about. Yes.
So I did my research and I ended up on an NLP practitioner training here in Manchester with the sadly late Bruce Farrow.
That was with Bruce, right?
With Bruce, yeah. And I literally had one of those moments during that training where you just know instinctually, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Wow. And that would have been a massive pivotal moment. And then you went back to your job and said, I'm out, or you started to plan from that point and then upskilled yourself in order to leverage more momentum so that you could do it full time. What was that transition like? Because many people, they want to follow their dreams, but the fears hold them back. Whenever you set yourself in motion, whenever you take yourself out of where you are and you say, I want to go over there, normally in my 22 years of doing this, the first thing that hits us is fear. Fear of change, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of what will everyone think, fear of, am I going to have enough money? It's generally a fear. I mean, sure, there could be some excitement as well sprinkled in there, but in my experience, the majority, not everyone, the majority, it is fear. So what were you feeling and how did you overcome that?
I had an enormous amount of excitement. And when I went back to the job, I was integrating all this wonderful new learning into the coaching I was doing in work. And then I talked them into giving me the time. They didn't pay, but they gave me the time to do master practitioner. So I did that too. And at that point, the fear of being stuck in a job where I wasn't getting anything from it anymore. I wasn't feeling I was making a difference to anybody.
Yeah.
The fear of being stuck in that for the rest of my career was greater than the fear of stepping out of that and doing something brand new. Because all this time, all these 17 years, I was in a not-profit making organization. I had no idea how to market something. I had no clue how to sell something. I'd never done anything like that in my life. And yet the excitement of it and my determination that I wasn't going to get stuck somewhere that I didn't want to be anymore, that was far greater than, oh my word, what if I don't have enough money? What if I can't pay the mortgage? What if I can't pay the bills? What if I don't get clients? To be honest, those thoughts came and they went very quickly. I didn't dwell on them at all.
Did you have a belief that, I was going to ask,
I knew I could do it. And I knew I could make a success of it.
Yeah.
And I knew it's what I wanted.
Speaking of knowing what you want, there's a couple people in the chat here who are singing praises about your outfit. So I just wanted to let you know, Sal and Beck. So coming back. So the away from, because Sigmund Freud, pleasure pain principle, people will generally move away from pain, then move towards pleasure. The pain of where you were was stronger than any doubts that you may have had about making it on your own. And what did you said you had a belief within yourself that I'll work it out? What did you say something to yourself as you woke up and went to sleep and traveled to work every day? You were thinking about it. How did you take those thoughts out of your mind? Or was it simply, I don't want this, and me not wanting this, all I thought about is I don't want this, and that just sort of pushed me over this way? Because this is the moment. It's what you do when no one's clapping that actually forges who we are in business and in life. And when in those moments where you were just by yourself and having a cup of tea, like I said, driving to work or catching a bus, and you ponder and you think, and in those moments, your mind can do interesting things. What did you do at that time in those moments?
So let me just backtrack a little bit, because in master practitioner training, I had one of these seminal moments. And it was when we did the board break. So, when you break the board with energy, with a 1-inch punch.
Yes.
And they give you this board on day one, and it's like a big, thick, chunky thing. It's shelving board. It's not something that's made for martial arts or anything. It's a piece of wood. And they gave it to me on day one. And they said, you're going to break that with a 1-inch punch at the end of the training. And I'm like, and I was convinced. And all week, my self-talk was going, you're going to be the only one in the room who can't do this. It's not going to break. You're not going to be able to do it. It's really going to hurt. And when I got to the modeling day and Bruce showed us how to do, we asked him all the modeling questions, and we knew what was supposed to be running in our mind, the strategies, the internal representations, the self-talk. And I thought, just follow instructions, trust the process. And I did. And when that board broke, that moment, I knew that if I could do that, something I've convinced myself I couldn't do, I could do anything. And really learning that process, the modeling process of how to take something that you absolutely believe you couldn't do and turn it into something else. That's what I then adopted going forward. And I just continued using that process. And every time a little thought came in my head about, can you do this? I just heard that board crack.
Amazing.
And it was like, of course you can do it. You thought you couldn't do that, and yet you did.
So for the viewers who are not trained in NLP, could you explain what happened in terms of you did one and then you generalized?
Yeah. So because we installed strategy.
So I guess the question is why did that happen?
Because it
How
was
did that happen?
attached. It was attached
Okay.
to a really strong emotion.
Okay.
And when we attach things to really strong emotions, they tend to get installed habitually at the unconscious level because they're attached to that emotion. And because when I broke that board, it was attached to such determination and afterwards such elation that my unconscious mind went, oh, we're having that. And that strategy of thinking in a certain way, of saying a certain thing to myself, just got installed and it became unconscious habit. It just continued.
Was the emotion important?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so anyone watching this, listening to this right now, who would like to make a massive change in their life that they are shit scared about, one thing they have to do is attach a significant amount of positive emotion to that outcome. Is that right?
Can we call it resourceful emotion? Because I don't
Got it.
like the term negative and positive as
Got it.
applied to emotions. I like
You're right.
resourceful or not resourceful, because every emotion is useful at some
Correct.
point in
Absolutely.
your life, you know?
This is good.
So I don't like calling them negative because they're not.
So resourceful emotion, so it needs to be attached. So if someone's sitting there with a diary and they're writing goals, and they haven't necessarily been taught a specific goal setting process, in terms of a takeaway from this podcast here, could you teach someone how to add a resourceful emotion to that goal?
Absolutely. So what you have to do is you have to fully step into what it'll be like when you've achieved it. You've got to make pictures in your mind and movies and have sound there and play them through and play them through exactly how you want them. And I always say to my students when they've written down a goal, now read it back. And if it gives you goosebumps and all the hairs on your arms start to stand up, it's right. If you read it and go, it's not right. It's not the right goal for you. It's not compelling enough.
So it's the goosebumps factor.
It's a goosebump factor. Yeah, it should make you go, oh, yes, that's exactly what I want.
Now, did I hear somewhere that I read it somewhere, heard it somewhere, that your mind doesn't necessarily, so when you get into an emotional state like that, I'm thinking about the future and I'm feeling it and I'm pumped up and I'm excited. The mind, the conscious or unconscious mind, doesn't know the difference between reality and thought, or could you unpack that a little bit?
Yeah. Your unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined, and it will prepare your body and your emotional content the same either way.
Oh, is that like when someone thinks of a lemon and they do that? There's no lemon, but they're still doing a physiological change because of the image that they brought up in their head.
Yeah. I mean, I always use anxiety as an expression of this, because you could sit on the sofa, nothing around you, close your eyes and think of everything going wrong, and your body will immediately react. You might feel sick. You might start to sweat. You might get breathing and respiration going quicker or deeper. You might get sweaty palms. You might get headache. And absolutely nothing is happening. You're sat on the sofa because your unconscious mind doesn't know that that isn't reality. So your thoughts become your reality.
Well, that's another podcast in and of
Isn't
itself.
it?
So, that's really interesting. And is this what you find is a big aha moment when people come through your trainings? But so why would someone train with you, Christine? Why would someone learn NLP?
So people come to learn NLP for a variety of reasons. The reason that they come to the training is not always the reason that they give you when they leave the training.
Got it.
They'll come to say, oh, I'd really like to enhance my communication skills for work. And when they leave at the end of the training, they say, oh, I really needed to shift all of that stuff
Right.
that I've been carrying around with me that's been keeping me stuck and stopping me from moving forward. And I'm so relieved it's gone. And, they don't tell you that at the beginning. They tell you that at the end.
Look, Cal and I are in sales, and it's very much sell them what they want, but give them what they need. They want more communication skills. Sure, you'll get more communication skills, but what they actually needed was the certainty, inner congruence, the alignment, the confidence within themselves to actually say what they want to say and to articulate the way that they want to articulate.
Well, that's it. People, they don't know what they don't know. So they don't know what in their neurology needs attending to. They don't know what's there that's been keeping them from releasing that full potential.
You don't know what you don't know.
They don't know.
It's complete unconscious incompetence. I don't know what I don't know.
And it's not until they get into the training and you start to unpack it in front of them, and then they start to unpack it internally. And they feel that they're in a really safe environment. And so people deal with all of the stuff, all the unattended stuff that they need to pay attention to. And they look and they sound completely different when they leave than when they arrive. They're different people.
Physically, people look different.
Yeah. They glow. They have a glow about them. Yeah.
Yes.
And like a sparkle in their eyes, like something's been reignited.
Yeah. And people have wrinkles that go away. They have more color in their face. They look you in the eyes when they talk to you. They stand up straight. It's I've seen a couple of transformations take place, but it's quite phenomenal. So moving on. So NLP trainings, but your passion, we spoke briefly offline before we came on. Your passion now is really owning that presenting space. So you've been training trainers of NLP and by the way, NLP trainers training is level 3 in the NLP in the standard NLP sequence of trainings. We have level 1, which is practitioner, level 2, which is master practitioner, and level 3, which is NLP trainers training. And there's only a handful of people who can teach level 3, qualified level 3 course. And you've been doing this for longer than many in the industry. And your passion, you mentioned performance. So can you link it all with performance and the training and where you're going?
Yeah. You see, what the reason why I talk about performance is because I've been performing one way or another all my life. You mentioned my dancing. I've been dancing since I was little. I've been on the stage since I was small. And I was on the stage about 4 weeks ago, doing one thing. So I've always been a performer.
Okay.
And I can remember when it was time to choose my senior school or high school in some countries. And I said to my mum, I want to go to a performing arts school. And she said, no. She said, you need to go to an academic school and get academic qualifications because that's going to serve your future.
Did you have traditional minded parents?
Yes.
Okay.
It was only my mum at that point. Dad left us when I was quite young.
Okay.
So I know people think that people with successful businesses and do NLP have had charmed lives. That's not the case. We're usually in the position.
I don't know any of this.
Because we've got struggles and we've had struggles and we've had, stuff happened in our lives that we've had to meet challenges and get through. And, I've had my share of those too. So when I think back on it now, because I always thought mum wouldn't let me go, looking back now, because she was on her own, it was probably a financial thing because she would have had to pay for me to go to stage school. And it wouldn't have been cheap, and it would have been residential. And she just wasn't.
Are you an only child?
No. Well, I'm one of 3, but my brother and my sister are a lot older than me. So 10 and 12 years older than me. So I kind of grew up like an only child because they were off doing, they were out with their mates and out at the pub. And,
so from when they were 16, you were 6. Yeah.
So it was very different. And, mum probably couldn't afford to send me to stage school. And, looking back as an adult, I get it. So there was always something within me that wanted to be a performer. And I think when I never intended to be a trainer of NLP, I was coaching.
Yeah.
And again, there was this pivotal life moment where everything changed for me. And I thought, I'm going to be a trainer. And I realized that.
What was that pivotal moment? Just out of, I like the pivotal moments in people's lives. It's a passion of mine because I think we go through life so often that we want to pivot, we want to change, but sometimes the fear, sometimes the unresourcefulness that we get into holds us back, and then 5-10 years pass and we're just sort of on that slow burn of unhappiness. So what was that pivotal moment for you that made you go,
the
master
reason I
practitioner trainer?
didn't share it is because it's quite sad, really.
Okay.
For 17 years, I had a horse. My horse, Ziggy, and we were together for 17 years. And it was the day where he went to the other field over the rainbow. That something quite, I don't want to go spiritual. I don't want to kind of
go there. Oh, if it
was when he went, I just felt his energy coming into me. And it was like he was giving me the gift of time and energy, because keeping a horse, you have no time for anything else and you have no energy for anything else.
Yeah.
Because it's 365 days a year. It's hard work. And the next day, I was assisting at a master practitioner program, and Bruce had just got his master trainer certification.
So that would have been 2009-ish?
2008, this was.
2008, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. End of the year then.
Yeah. And I went into master practitioner because I thought, I'm in grief. The best place I could be is to be around people who can support me with that. So I went in, and Bruce said, he used to call me Chrissy. Chrissy, I have set up my first trainer's training. Are you coming? And I just, yeah, because I knew I could.
Yeah.
You know, when Ziggy was around, I couldn't have gone to Thailand for a month. You just can't. So I just went, yeah, I will. And in that moment, I knew that's how I was going to put my performance skills on.
Got a few goosebumps you talking about this. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I was going to do it. You know, a childhood dream. Now I was going to put it into effect.
Yeah.
And it's a double whammy, really, because I get to help people and perform at the same time. So for me, everything in one neat little package.
And that was how many years ago? I said 20, but it may have been off slightly.
So 2009, I became a trainer.
So 16 years.
Yeah. So it's 2006, I entered into the world of NLP. So it'll be 20 years next year.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That I've been in the world of
Amazing.
NLP. Yeah.
Yeah. And you've been training trainers for how long?
Since 2009. Yeah. When I did my trainers training. I actually sold my first place to trainers training in the airport on the way to trainers training.
As you do. As you should. So your passion, you've been teaching and you've been in the NLP field for coming up to 20 years, and you're, but I know you're the ultimate performer, and now I believe you want to focus on the performance side of NLP. Is that right?
It is. Being a trainer of NLP is quite a responsibility because you're in a room with people, some of whom are feeling quite vulnerable in the moment, some of whom have trauma in their past, some of whom have big ambitions for the future and don't know how to put them into place. So you've got to be there for them, and you've got to be present. You can't be sat behind your document stand, crouched down there reading out your manual, you've got to be able to project out into that room your authenticity and your energy for them, because they've got to trust you implicitly. Because if they don't trust you, they're not going to start to bare their souls in the exercises, because they don't believe that if something goes wrong, someone will be there to scoop it all up and make sure that they're...
Scoop it up. And what happens if they don't bare their soul, as you said?
Well, they don't get what they could get from the training. They don't realize all that full potential, because we're setting out a roadmap for them that can take them from where they are now to where they want to be. And to do that, we want them to release all that potential that's inside. And everybody has more potential than they think they have.
Yes,
As humans, we can achieve so much more than we believe we can right now. And it's not until, you start to unpack everything that holds you, the boxes that you think in, start to shake those up and pull them down, that people realize, I can really do this. Those ambitions that I've had, I can make them real. And to do that, you've got to, I say perform. You've got to perform as the best version of yourself at the front of the room, and you've got to do that with authenticity. Or else people just hold back, and then they don't get the full experience.
So do you think vulnerability is a prerequisite for transformation?
Not a prerequisite.
Okay.
It's open-mindedness that is a prerequisite. People, I'm completely okay with people coming in with healthy skepticism. That's absolutely fine. I do want people who have open minds, who are willing to listen, who are willing to imagine, who are willing to ask those what if questions. So that when they hear something that resonates, then they know they can take hold of that and they can confidently run with it. So it's important. They don't have to be vulnerable. They have to be open.
Got it. Good differentiation between the two. So as a presenter, you have to be authentic, you said?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What does that mean?
So it's presenting you. So a lot of people that you see presenting, they present with a mask. It's like they're playing a role.
Right.
But for me, playing a role and performing as you are two very different things.
Interesting. Yeah.
So what I teach people at trainers training is how to take you, your personality, you as an individual trainer, and put your performance out there so that you can put out to all your students, this is me, this is the core of me, this is authentic me, I'm real, you can trust me, and I'm open. So it's not...
Is that challenging?
As in, I'm on the stage and I'm performing and something different. It's all about projecting you and your authenticity in a way that people believe.
Is that challenging for some? How do they know? How would someone know who they are? I guess, how am I trying to ask this question?
Yeah.
So to say people project themselves being authentic, how does someone know that they're being authentic? How does someone know that they are being themselves versus a performance-based self?
When we do trainers training, because of the nature of how it's put together and how it's built, it builds piece on piece on piece on piece. Not just performance, it's built on how people react to feedback, how people choose to use their language, and what the participants in the training, the experience that they go through, it's almost like holding a mirror up to them.
Okay.
And it
So
reflects
through the process itself.
it reflects
Yeah. Okay.
that this is me.
Got it.
And during the training, because it is a very intensive training, people have often fed back that they'd kind of lost who they are at the core because of all the labels of life that they wear, mother, father, brother, sister, father, son, manager, director, employee, ADHD, autistic, dyslexic, all these labels that people wear.
Mm.
And during trainers training, because we want to see the core of people, all these labels just fall away. And people will say to me, I haven't felt this much as myself for years.
Mm.
And then they get the confidence through the process to say
Yeah.
to the world, this is me. And this is me at my best. And
So they're
here's my authentic self.
They're coming for presenting. Again, they want presenting skills, but they're leaving with almost the top, I don't know, self-discovery leadership training they could probably ever attend.
Absolutely.
And look, I'll be in full transparency. I've been around many trainers trainings in my life, and I love it. It is by far my favorite NLP training available. The only NLP trainers trainings that I've been around are the longer sorts. So they're 15 to 18 days in length, and I've firsthand witnessed the transformations that take place at those trainings, and it is remarkable. And I love the way that you articulated that, Christine, and hearing about you talk about it so passionately. And is this so next, on the horizon for you? I understand you want to, I guess, hone in and focus more on the presenting side of NLP, the presenting side of life, I guess. Can you share with everyone what you plan on doing now? You've been in this field for nearly 20 years. What's your focus? Where are you leaning into now?
Yeah, so I'm very excited about developing trainers training even further.
Okay.
And that's where the business is kind of going to start shifting to over the next couple of years, because I've now been involved in and led trainers trainings across 3 continents. So I've seen many.
You do it in Greece, right? You run your normal NLP. No, no, say normal. Your annual NLP trainers training, I read on your website, is in Greece every year. How cool is that? So are you having dolmades in between trainings and feta cheese and olives and
always be involved?
Lucky. I'm sure there's a dish beginning with M. What is it called?
Moussaka.
Moussaka. That's it. What a destination to upskill. So you take people. Is it because you want to go there, or is there something about taking someone out of their normal environment and reworking them and then popping them back as an upgraded version?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we do it fundamentally, is that because, we're looking to shed all those labels. We're looking to hold a mirror up. We're looking to find the true nature of people and then have them perform as that authentic self. We don't want them going on a long commute every evening, getting in the car and getting stressed. We don't want them arriving after a long drive into a training centre.
Yeah. It's been raining, traffic, roadworks.
We don't want them going home.
Kids went to bed last night.
Having to walk the dog or look out the horse or put the children to bed or do the school run or have an argument with somebody. We want to take all that noise of life away, and we take them to a very traditional Greek island. So it's not even very touristy.
Oh, so it's off the beaten track, isolated.
It is. It's isolated. There's stuff around, and yet it's not, touristy.
Yeah. Okay.
So the energy there, it's just something else. When I'm there, everything just goes automatically. The energy there is relaxed, it's calm, it's powerful. And I've never felt it anywhere else in the world, only there.
Right.
And when people feel that, they just go, okay, I can do this.
I got this.
And
Yeah.
they have mind space. So if they want to take themselves off for a little walk in nature after the training, they can do that. If they want to go in the swimming pool, they can do that. If they want to go in the spa pool, they can do that. And it's all about giving them that space to discover who they are and to really reflect on that and to be able to build that confidence to say, you know what, I'm amazing and I can project that out into a training room.
Ooh, that's important. That's interesting. So can you say, so I guess that comes back to how we project as presenters. There has to be a belief. What are some beliefs a great presenter should hold? Or I say should, but what are some beliefs that a presenter should hold?
Yeah, beliefs like, I am fully connected to this room. I am connected to all of these people. I believe that I can share my energy with these people and take energy back from them. We're harmonized. Trainers believe that they have the knowledge, that they know their knowledge very well. And they believe that they can assist other people. So I have the belief that I can lead these people to where they want to be. Because at the end of the day, a trainer role is a leadership role. You are leading people to their desired destination.
Joy has written in body. So if anyone who's watching and listening would like to improve their presenting skills, how do they adopt a series of beliefs and then they project out? Could you give some maybe one or two tips on what people can do in order to obviously I'll recommend everyone attends your NLP trainers training, but until everyone does, what are one or two takeaways that people could have from you where they can apply on Monday and let's say they have a sales pitch or a job interview or a board meeting, or even they're doing Magic Monday with their team. I don't even know what Magic Monday is, but they could be a manager. They have to talk about how the week's going to be panning out with their team. They could be a shift manager at McDonald's, and every shift they have to do a bit of a talk to their team. What are some general tips or takeaways or hacks or something that they can walk away with today?
Yeah, you've got to backtrack a little bit first.
Okay.
And you've got to say to people, right, just before you do this event, whatever it is, how do you feel? And you need to have them feel their body. Because
like
you know what?
center?
We don't feel emotions in our head. We feel them in our body.
Yes.
So that they need to know what they're feeling right now just before they do whatever they're going to do. And then they need to start to get in control of it.
Okay.
So I have this little steps. So first of all, you've got to recognize what you're thinking and feeling.
Yeah.
And then you've got to understand it. And then you've got to get in control of it. And then you can start to think and feel on purpose. So if you step through those little steps, which NLP guides you through really beautifully, then you get to the state that you want to be in. Before people can do that, they need to feel, what am I feeling in my body? And usually people will misinterpret excitement and call it nerves. And it's easy to do because excitement and nervousness, your physiology is the same for both. You have the same hormonal release.
Interesting.
So it feels the same.
Okay.
So when people say, oh, I'm nervous, my tummy, I'm nervous. Actually, that's probably excitement. because the
Why
release
would
of
they say
chemicals
nervous?
in your body is making
Yeah.
you excited.
Why would someone label it as nervousness if it's excitement? How would one know? How would one know that it is excitement and not nerve? This is an interesting.
People say nerves because of social conditioning. Because we're taught that, when you get that feeling, that's nerves. And it's normal to have nerves before you do something that challenges you. So we almost expect it.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear it all the time, don't you? You hear sports people say, you need nerves. Nerves help you to perform. And actually, do they? No, they don't. Because nervousness is about focusing on what you don't want. So reinterpreting that feeling into excitement will help you to focus on what you do want. Because what you focus on is what you get.
Yes.
That's one key tip. Focus on what you want. And when you're feeling all that in your body, say, that's excitement.
And that shift will...
It'll shift something. And then the other key thing that people can do really easily is notice your breathing. Because
yes, this is a
breathing
big...
is
Yes, I'm
enormous.
glad you said that. Yes.
Yeah.
So can you
Breathing
unpack that a little bit?
It's so powerful. And most of us don't breathe properly. I know that sounds a bit counterintuitive.
We breathe to survive, not breathe to thrive. Yeah.
So what we can do to help you to feel prepared physically is control your breathing. And if you're focusing on your breath, you're not focusing on what you don't want. Because you can't focus on breathing and do anything else at the same time. Because breathing is an unconscious process. Once you make it conscious, that's all you can do. So a good practice is breathing from your core here, your solar plexus, and make that bit go in and out rather than the tummy or up here, this bit. And if you breathe in the 4 counts, so a nice deep breath in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 6 out. So a longer out breath. And just getting that breathing going in that sort of rhythm can take all of the heightened emotions down and just allow you that calm, focused feeling. Something people can do outside the meeting room before they go in.
Yes.
Or outside somebody's office. Just control your breathing.
So before you even start thinking about what to say, how to say it, you first have to put your vessel in the right place.
Absolutely.
Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, before you even think about the order of words that you deliver. Yeah. So what were the two? What were these things? One of them was saying something to yourself, or
focus on what you want.
Focus on what you want. Okay.
Yeah. Focus on what you want. Reframe the physical feeling into excitement. And then
focus on what you want. Reframe the old nervousness into excitement.
Yeah.
Because it's one and the same physiological experience with the body.
Yeah.
And then the third is to focus on your breathing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and those are really simple things that you can do in the moment.
And this will bring you back to
whole plethora of techniques.
Yes. Oh yeah.
We have so many techniques to teach and to share. Those
how many?
You could just do immediately.
How many techniques?
So there are a lot. In trainers training, we have behavioral installation, so new behaviors that we kind of wind in throughout the whole training, through all the exercises, and there's 30 of those.
Okay, so whenever you see a great presenter, most of the time it's not by accident that they're engaging your attention. They hold your attention. They take you on a journey. They often tell stories. They bring you on a bit of an emotional journey, don't they? Great presenters.
And it's a learned skill set.
Yeah. So what's next for you, Christine? back to Greece. What's happening in 2026
So we've got full training
or
schedule.
beyond?
Full
Yeah.
training schedule for 2026. We're one of the few companies that can take people from NLP practitioner and hypnosis practitioner level right up to master trainer level.
So that
And
means from the ground level to the highest level.
to the highest level.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Right through to the master trainer, because there are 4 levels, right? You have practitioner, master practitioner, NLP trainers training, and master trainer
correct.
program. And and master trainer program, that is that just another course that you do, or how does that work?
Master trainer program is a 5-year personal development program that people enter into.
Wow.
To
Okay.
master running their business, as well as mastering the art of training, as well as mastering all of the content of that we train. And beyond that, because we say to be a master, you've got to be thinking at least 2 levels above that of what you're training. So, you've got to have knowledge that goes way beyond what you teach.
Yes.
And that's what the master trainer program helps you to develop.
Awesome. And is it, so it's 5 years, which seems long.
It's really not. Yeah, it's not in terms of growth for a business. If you think about business growth, the first 5 years of business, that is your real acceleration point where your business is going to either go or it's going to go.
Yeah.
Like
actually,
that.
I never even thought about it that way. You've been training since 2009. What's that? 10, 7, 16 years. Most small businesses don't last 5. So you're obviously doing something right. So under your tutorage, under your mentoring, you take them under your wing for 5 years and basically mold them and nurture them and give them everything that they need in order to have liftoff. Is that sort of how it works?
Yeah. And the key is to accelerate their progress so they don't have to fall into the traps that I fell into as somebody who'd never run a business before in her life and had to learn everything from scratch.
I get that. Yeah.
I now know how to run a training business successfully. So the master trainer program is me sharing that. We're open architecture. I don't hold anything back. I tell them everything because I'm a real believer that they're not my competition. I mean, my business is crazy. I create my competition. I train people to do what I do. And I don't view it like that. They're not my competition. We all work in coordination and partnership. And
it's a very holistic way.
There's enough people in the world to train, without us competing against each other for it. We're stronger together. And so the Master Trainer program continues to build that sense of community where we all support each other and we work as a community together.
Yeah, nice. Brilliant. Well, Christine, it's 11 just gone 11 p.m. your time, I think.
Yeah, it is.
In the UK. So I don't want to keep you up too late. But on behalf of Connekt Coaching, myself and Kallum, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us, sharing your insights. Those takeaways for the presenting skills are so easy, yet valuable. And anyone can apply them and do them straight away. your lights started to shine even brighter. There we go. And I look forward to seeing more photos of your trips to Greece, your trainers training groups, and if anyone would like to find you, how does one find you, Christine?
So I'm on all the social media platforms under Quest for Success NLP. And
okay, so your name is obviously Christine Dawson, but your business name is
Quest for Success.
Quest for Success.
And on Instagram and Facebook, it's Quest for Success NLP, where you can find us. Our website is qfscoaching.com.
QFS for Quest for Success, qfscoaching.com.
And on the homepage there, we have a free training. So if anybody wants a whole 2-hour free training, you can pop on there and get access to it for free.
All right, cool. So if anyone's thinking about learning NLP or training with you at the higher level, jump on QFScoaching.com connektcoaching.com and download the NLP training and get a taste of how Christine presents.
That's it.
Awesome. All right. Well, again, thank you very much. I'll let you go to bed shortly. If you could stay on after we go off air. Really appreciate it. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And let's have an amazing weekend. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you very much for watching the Unplugged podcast with Kallum and Conor from Connekt Coaching. Hope you loved this guest this week as much as we did. Cal?
What we wanted to remind you of is that if you wanted to steal our forever business model, which is perfect for all sorts of businesses around the world to start to build extra revenue in your business right away, get instant access by clicking on the description and going into the link below, watching the 9-minute video where we unpack everything. See you next time.